UW 360 is proudly supported by Pacific Office Automation, copy, print, workflow, and IT. Problem solved.
Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn Douglas. Welcome to UW 360. We have a great show ahead for you today. We'll meet the new Dean of Education here at the UW and show you why promoting diversity and innovation in education is such a personal mission for her. We'll also revisit UW's Condon Hall, better known as Startup Hall, and see why it's already earning rave reviews from entrepreneurs after just 1 year. Plus, we'll see how a UW undergraduate course is creating the opportunity of a lifetime for both business students and a local children's center in our BECU Husky Money Moment. And we'll meet two of the greatest players in Husky football history from back when you had to play both offense and defense. But first, we head across the mountains to the University of Washington's new center in the heart of Spokane. The UW Spokane Center is an information hub, a meeting site, and simply a gathering place for Husky alumni, students, and supporters in Eastern Washington. We sent reporter Austin Siedentoft to the opening of the new center to see how this space will help connect UW to the rest of the state.
Go! Husky! The University of Washington has pushed a lot of boundaries in its time. Campus proper may end with the Ave, but there are the University of Washington medical facilities in South Lake Union, UW Bothell, UW Tacoma, and now the UW is all but bursting out of the state with a new center just 20 miles away from Idaho, here in the city of Spokane.
Spokane is one of the 3 biggest cities in Washington and has benefited from a strong university presence. Nearby schools like Gonzaga, Eastern Washington University, and Wazoo have long been anchor tenants.
We're home to a lot of great universities, and really some 20 years ago the city took a strategic vision of creating a university district here in our core, and it transforms the city. And we're starting to see that not only in the culture of our city, but also the economic vitality of the community, and now really the future of medical and healthcare education in Spokane.
The UW has mainly been recognized in Spokane via UW Medicine and the WAMI program. Until now. The UW Spokane Center opens with a bang.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Guilty pleasure. I love balloons.
I'm a third-generation Husky from Spokane.
We have some very special people with us here today. Do you have any comments about the UW?
It's great to have this flagship in our city, to have a purple W right here on Main Street and Division, and really shows the commitment of the University of Washington to the Spokane community.
It demonstrates that we are a university for the entire state, and actually that we're a university for the entire world. And Spokane, Eastern Washington are part of that same vision.
I'm Jerry Baldasty. Oh, it's good to see you.
Nice, thank you.
This vision of a boundless university is tied together by generations of students, and the Spokane Center stands as a portal that connects them all across the state.
It's Dave Levitch. I'm a 49 graduate here.
Hey, thank you for being here.
Yes,
this is wonderful. What brings you to the center today?
Well, a friend of mine is a graduate too, and he wanted me to come down.
So how long have you been in Spokane?
All my life.
We're of course home to thousands of alumni and of course a lot of eager kids going to UW now.
Spokane now has a little piece of Husky pride in its heart, and everyone agrees it's here to stay.
The idea here is we're going to bring people together. We're going to bring Huskies together and anybody else who supports higher education and UW.
By cutting this ribbon today, it really is opening up the future and truly being true to their mission of being boundless, of really looking at opportunities across our state.
Has it been cool to be a Husky all this time and to finally see a resource opening up in Spokane?
Well, I think it's great. The more you do, the better.
The University of Washington Spokane Center is not the start of a relationship with Eastern Washington, but the continuation of a strong partnership in the spirit of boundlessness. I'm Austin Siedentoft, and I'll see you next time.
For more information about the new UW Spokane Center, you'll find a link on our website at uwtv.org/UW360. When we come back, an update on year 2 of Startup Hall as UW360 continues. Welcome back to UW360. It has been a year since our initial story about the university's plan to foster startups on the second floor of Condon Hall. In that time, the operation has proven to be a wild success, helping transform the area in and around campus into a haven for innovation through cooperation. Gard Swanson has an update on Startup Hall.
Built by the university in 1974, Condon Hall is 4 blocks west of the main campus. And from the outside, it looks like many of the other buildings in the U District. Refined, yet rugged. But it's the modern, friendly, and spacious interior that has provided the now 25-member companies located on the second floor the optimal environment in which to thrive.
The foundational kind of spark of creativity is getting people from different backgrounds together and mixing them up. And so if you get everyone in a cube or in offices or in neighborhoods where they're stuck in an office tower, you don't get those kind of dynamic, spontaneous interactions. One of the things that's most exciting to me about Startup Hall, the space, and also U District as a neighborhood, is that it's an opportunity for students and academics and entrepreneurs and out-of-town investors and media to all kind of mix it up and come together. So we've deliberately tried to create a space that's open in format and also situated in the neighborhood in such a way that we have more opportunities for those sort of serendipitous dynamic interactions on the assumption that really interesting, surprising, conversations that wouldn't have happened are going to happen, and that's going to lead to good things, good outcomes.
If there's one thing Chris DeVore knows plenty about, it's good outcomes. He's head of both the region's most successful startup accelerator and its leading seed stage venture capital fund. It was in DeVore that the university found an ideal partner for Startup Hall.
It's an amazing opportunity for our students firsthand to see how these things are done, how high-tech startups come out. The fact that Startup Hall is just across the street from our dorms and just a short walk from our university campus is amazing for our faculty, for our students. And it's the first in what we hope is a build out of the university district where we can do a lot more of this at scale, which is provide innovation across the board, not just in terms of software, but in many other areas. There's a lot to learn from these two amazing organizations, and we love partnering with them.
But it's not just the university, its students and faculty benefiting from the partnership. DeVore is excited to be at Startup Hall and sees an extraordinarily promising future for the quote-unquote innovation district.
So I'm a Seattle guy. I grew up in Seattle. I know the U District from when I was a kid. But our last office for Founders Co-op and Techstars was down in South Lake Union. And Amazon has obviously grown incredibly down there. It's been really powerful for the city. But I think I both felt like the U wasn't well connected to the innovation ecosystem, and I got wind of some stuff because I volunteer with the city of Seattle around economic development about both the light rail changes that are coming and the zoning changes that are likely to come to the U District. I really genuinely believe the U District, with the U at its heart, is going to be the most exciting neighborhood in Seattle in the next 15 or 20 years.
We can't wait to see what Startup Hall brings us in year 2 and beyond. All right, from starting a business to learning how to manage one, a UW undergraduate class at the Foster School of Business teaches students far more than just management skills. Austin Siedentoff shows us how this class is giving both students and members of our community the lesson of a lifetime in this BECU Husky Money Moment.
UW360's Husky Money Moment is made possible by the generous support of BECU. BECU, more than just money.
Welcome to the Husky Money Moment. I'm a little young to know firsthand, but according to my parents, raising a kid is really hard and can be really expensive. But for many low-income families, finding affordable, quality childcare is all but impossible. And that's where Tiny Tots comes in, an urban-serving nonprofit childcare program that's about to receive some fresh ideas from students at the University of Washington School of Business.
They were looking to find some private funding to allow them to expand and become a little bit more financially sustainable. So we kind of helped them put together a framework for their next financial steps so they'd be able to secure that financial stability for their business.
Every year, the Foster School's Consulting and Business Development Center offers a unique opportunity to students in Marketing and Management 445. some professional advisors associated with the program, and a few local businesses that are fortunate enough to be selected.
We try to work with companies, typically in underserved communities, to help them grow. The way that we do that is we leverage resources from the Foster School, both on the faculty side as well as leveraging students to work as consultants for these companies to help develop growth strategies for these firms. Essentially, our mission is to help companies grow so that they can create jobs and strengthen the regional economy.
When the initial selection is done, the UW gets a submission of maybe, I'd say 16 or 17 different businesses that apply for the program, some businesses, some nonprofits. As part of that process, the teams will be selected that are going to work with those businesses.
I'll be honest with you, when we were selected, I didn't think much of what was going to happen because I thought, what could some students, really do? But then about halfway through the process, I began to see, wow, I couldn't have paid for this service. And then they really started digging through our finances and finding things that we didn't find.
They kind of brought in the whole reality piece of business and what business does and how business should grow and how you should have a future for your business, not just live for now.
Only time will tell how much of an impact Megan and her team made on the folks at Tiny Tots. But one story uncovered through the course of the relationship will have a lasting impact on everyone involved.
There was a woman who had been homeless. She had a small baby. Every day she would show up at the Tiny Tots Development Center, hand the baby over, and the baby would just cry and cry and cry and cry because her mother had no place to live. Tiny Tots Development Center went out and helped her find a job, found a place to live, and really worked with the social workers to make sure that the mother's greatest fear of losing her child wouldn't happen. And in a relatively short time, this small child was happy, she was singing. They really just provided a safety net for a mother in need and then helped transform this mother's life to where she could get back on her feet and be a productive member of society.
Maybe her circumstances are not like what you and I would think would be optimal, but this is a family that's worth us investing in and keeping them together. So we were very, very happy to be a part of her success. And like I said, now she has a job, she's so proud of herself, and we're proud of her too.
Here's Schloredt, he's looking for the big one.
We'll be right back with a look back at two of the greatest Husky football teams of all time when UW 360 continues. Welcome back to UW 360. When we think of the greatest Husky football teams of all time, the undefeated national champion 1991 squad is usually the first to come to mind. But 55 years ago, there were two teams back-to-back that could certainly be included in that discussion. Aaron Mayofsky caught up with two players from those teams who won 2 Rose Bowls and a national championship.
Here's Schloredt, he's looking for the big one. There's the alley-ooper down there. That's McKeta. Down to the Oregon State 28-yard line.
They are two players from two of the greatest teams in Husky football history.
Rose Bowl's good right now after the game, but before the game was all Cougars.
Quarterback Bob Schloredt and running back Don McKeta led the Dogs to a 21-2 record during a 2-year span from 1959 to 1960.
Rose, McKeta, he's got it!
We were a damn good football team. We were 48 guys committed to success. It's certainly an honor to be part here, and looking back at the time it was when we played and the way the stadium was and everything.
Strolling through the Husky Hall of Fame, Schloredt and McKeta reminisce about the good old days.
The uniforms are different, and the athletes are different, and everything's different right now.
That's too bad they get away from playing the real football.
Right up the middle. Schloredt in there for a TD.
The real football, back in 1959, meant 2 platoon football. You played offense and defense. For 2 seasons, Bob Schloredt was the starting quarterback for the Huskies, but he also played cornerback on the defense. Don McKeta played halfback on offense cornerback on defense. His decisive interception in the fourth quarter of the 1961 Rose Bowl against Minnesota secured a win for the Huskies.
The rollout for Knopfsinger. Intercepted. Myers. Touchdown.
Washington's stellar defense gave up only 65 points for the entire regular season. On offense, the combination of Schloredt to McKeta thrilled the Husky Nation time and time again.
He has plenty of time. Beautiful run. Billy Howard and Mont Bailey put the stop on Don McKeta. 52-yard play.
The 59 Huskies go 9-1 during the regular season and earn their first trip to the Rose Bowl since 1944. They will face the heavily favored Wisconsin Badgers.
You can sense when somebody has respect for you or no respect. And when we came together as two teams, they were sort of obnoxious. It lit a fire. Yeah, it was great.
The so-called fire ignites a 44-8 incineration of Wisconsin. It is the very first Rose Bowl win in Husky football history.
And then we just flat kicked the heck out of them.
Husky domination continues the following year. In 1960, with just one loss to Navy, the Huskies make another trip to the Rose Bowl. This time, they will meet a more formidable foe, the #1 ranked Minnesota Golden Gophers.
They look like the #1 team.
Once again, the Huskies are big underdogs to a Big Ten champ. It doesn't seem to matter. Washington upsets Minnesota 17-7. The Dogs finish the season 10-1 and are awarded the Helms Foundation Award for being the best team in the nation.
It was just a special, special time.
Don and Bob, congratulations. Thank you very much.
It was a different time and a different game, but Don McKeta and Bob Schloredt know it's an honor to be remembered in this Hall of Fame, for they played key roles on two of the best Husky teams of all time.
It was special. The electricity, the respect, our accomplishments that we were able to do, and the way we were embraced. It's a feeling you just can't describe.
Without question, the 1959 and 1960 teams make the list of all-time great Husky football teams. When we come back, meet the UW's new Dean of Education as UW 360 continues. Welcome back to UW 360. The UW College of Education has recently brought Mia Tuan aboard as its new dean. Having grown up as an Asian American immigrant, Dean Tuan is deeply devoted to helping the Seattle School District become both more diverse and inclusive, two qualities celebrated at Seattle's Garfield High School.
I think she's going to try.
Mia Tuan is getting to know a lot of people.
That really is my #1 priority. For me to be a strong advocate on behalf of this college, I feel as though I really need to see it, experience it, speak to people who are impacted by the work, talk to my faculty.
The College of Education prepares new generations of teachers, many who go on to tackle the issues faced today by local schools. Mia must lead the college in figuring out what students struggle with every day in the classroom.
It's things like the opportunity gap, differences in achievement, differences in how students are treated in the classroom. What does it mean for my college and other colleges of education to know how to maximize and really unleash the potential of all those kids who come with very different experiences?
Mia's own educational journey began when her family immigrated to the Bay Area when she was just 3 years old.
When I went to school, there were very few Asians. I was part of the generation that diversified the Bay Area. It was not uncommon for me when I was growing up to hear things like, you know, go back to where you came from. What does it take to belong? It means I'm the one who has to do the changing to make other people feel comfortable, right? That was pretty formative in terms of my sense of identity and sense of self.
It wasn't until Mia went to college at Berkeley, which she says had a 40% Asian population at the time, that she discovered sociology and realized for the first time that her experience was not unique.
You know, I used to think that my family was quirky, maybe would be a nice way to put it, and it never occurred to me that part of the ways in which we saw the world or experienced the world were informed by these bigger forces. So I went from thinking, you mean I'm the only one who's had this experience, to thinking or realizing that you mean people who have had it, that there are other people like me who have had a set of shared experiences. Being an immigrant, for example, was the one that was really a big aha moment for me, that there is this thing called the immigrant experience.
By applying her history as an immigrant and a woman of color and her background in sociology, Mia hopes to work with the College of Education and Seattle schools on a broader scale than ever before.
Pretty much anything you can think of for diversity, we have here at Garfield.
Partnering with diverse schools like Garfield is critical to the College of Education's mission to serve. It also provides an excellent opportunity for student candidates to work directly with K-12 students.
For my work, I want to build relationships with schools where we are truly in a reciprocal relationship.
Does a person feel as though when they're in a space interacting with other people, do they feel as though they belong, that they connect with others, or that others are making the effort to try to connect with them at a personal, emotional level? These are our people. This is our community. If we don't find ways to include them, to bring out their fullest potential, we're in trouble, because they are us.
Dean Tuan says every child in every school deserves an outstanding education, and she intends to work every day to achieve that vision and ensure every child feels like they belong. And that does it for this edition of UW 360. If you'd like more information on any of the stories you saw today, just head to our website at uwtv.org/UW360. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Carolyn Douglas. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with all news stories from the University of Washington.